Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel, The Free Range Musician.
Today is an exciting day because we're introducing a new video series called How to Practice, and we will be releasing these videos every 3 weeks in our schedule. Each video is going to feature a new guest musician that we will be interviewing, and they will be speaking on their experience with practice over the years, as well as giving some tips and recommendations for you guys and us in our practicing.
This first video includes the principal trumpet of the Los Angeles Philharmonic, Professor Tom Hooten. We'll talk about how he's changed his practice over the years, and he's going to give us an update as to how the 100-day practice challenge has gone. So sit back and enjoy. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Free Range Musician. Today we're here with the current principal trumpet of the Los Angeles Philharmonic, Professor Tom Hooten. He also currently runs the trumpet studio at the University of Southern California. He has been a previous member of the United States Marine Band, the associate principal trumpet of the Indianapolis Symphony, principal trumpet of the Atlanta Symphony, and then finally the Los Angeles Philharmonic in 2012. He also has a very active solo career, and he had just recorded the trumpet solo, John Williams' Concerto for Trumpet, which is amazing, kind of looking at him and following on Facebook. But today we're here to talk with him today on the topic of practicing. So thank you for being here with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
So Tom, what did a normal practice session look like for you when you were in college?
Oh, it's probably a big hot mess. I was super, I was super eager, and I kind of had an epiphany my freshman year, and it sounded something like this: "Oh my God, I'm so behind." And so I was doing one thing really well, and that was getting my butt in the chair. But I didn't have any idea how to pace myself. So I was doing a lot wrong. I was over practicing. I was going way past when I was tired. I don't know. I guess I just thought that's what you have to do. So I was lucky. I had a friend in college that was about 7 years older than me. He came back from the military service and started his college career kind of over when he was like 26. So I was really lucky. I had somebody like him who was like, "Look, you're being stupid. Don't do that. You stop wasting your time, or work on this, this, and this." And he helped me kind of get some kind of structure, getting me to think about the nuts and bolts of what I had to learn how to do to play these pieces or just play the trumpet professionally. So even back then, I started having a little journal, just like a little composition pad. And I still have them somewhere, and it looks like a fourth grader. I was like, clerk 2, 20 minutes, And it's funny, I don't know if I actually ever went back and was like, how does this all fit? Many, many, many years later, I started thinking, if I'm going to write this stuff down, I should have it in a place that, like I do now, where I can kind of keep track of it. So in all honesty, I was very eager, very energetic, but I didn't really have any structure or any kind of idea how to pace. I think a lot of people nowadays have a much better idea about that. I mean, still, myself included, I could practice better, but that's what it was back then.
Yeah. So would you say it was about kind of finding more efficient ways to practice in a shorter amount of time?
I wouldn't think about it in terms of time. I would think about it in terms of what's my objective, and keep that. If I would go back, I would say, like, keep it way smaller, man, way smaller. Like, what are you trying to accomplish? Don't just stare at the cheese in the maze. Like, think about like what are you trying to reinforce on this journey? And I didn't think about that much. I just thought about like, I want to play a fourth higher. I want to play I want my range to be better. I didn't really understand the building blocks that I do now. And then I was just throwing myself at it. And I think I got kind of lucky because I got really close to hurting myself. I remember one particular day playing and feeling like a dunk, like a little ow.
I had that when I was in high school as well.
Yeah, and so I think it might have been my freshman or sophomore year, and I remember thinking, oh, that kind of sent a
Right.
shiver down my spine, you know. And from that point on, I started thinking like, hold on, this something is not right. And my days would be up and down and up and down. So it was about more efficiency, but it was, I think I would go back and say lots more rest. And then like, instead of me writing down what I did, I should have written down, what do I want to accomplish?
So it's more like objective based than sitting down for an amount of time that you set.
For sure, because everybody's different. And I think sometimes we put these time constraints on, um, you know, there's a psychological component to this, and we all have different thresholds of what we can handle, like how long we can focus, how easily we're distracted, stuff like that. So I should have been writing down, what do I want to achieve, not just the amount of time I want to clock in, because that's what I was going to say, is that the psychological component is that we all could have this like big pressure of like, how many hours should I be putting in? I don't know if that matters. It's like, did you make progress today? That's if you can say at the end of every day, I made distinctions, I repeated them, and I think I could repeat them quicker and remember them faster tomorrow, and that's like super small, that's a good day. I don't know if you guys heard this. I just saw this in a masterclass that we had a visiting professor give a class to the trumpet studio, and there's, I think Joe Rogan does like a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
He's this guy, has all sorts of people. I can't remember the athlete that was on there, and he said this fascinating thing, and I thought I shared it with my trumpet studio a long time ago, but it goes something like this. He says, let's say you go to the gym and you want to get better at pull-ups. Like the coach is like, you want to do more pull-ups. You say, how many can you do? He's like, I can do 10 pull-ups, but you put a gun to my head and I can't do 11.
Yeah.
I just can't do 11. So he says, so you go to the gym and you kill yourself. You try for 11 and you 12. He says, okay, so that was Monday. You did 11, 10-ish pull-ups.
Right.
Tuesday, you're sore. Wednesday, you're maybe even more sore. Thursday, you're still kind of sore. Friday, you're like, okay, I'm going to do pull-ups again. He says, but that's not, he's like, I'm going to put more time in the gym and I'm going to have more experience and more sort of conditioning, more reps. He said, because I don't want you to do 10. He's like, I want you to do 5 on Monday, 5 on Tuesday. And if that gets pretty easy, maybe we'll do 6 on Wednesday, 6 on Thursday. He's like, so now I'm at like 22 and here I am at Friday and I'm going to log 5 more, and you're still going to be able to do like 11, and I'm still ahead of you, maybe. So, and he's like, the whole time you weren't sore. And so it's really kind of a fascinating perspective of this. And if we could couple that with, I have a hard time with somebody saying, always make a beautiful sound.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't leave a lot of room for error for you experimenting. But I do think more and more that if we can stay that sort of like core set of skills that are like good breathing, good sound, good time, if we really get that like through and through really good, it's not hard to expand it. But if we're like pushing, and then it kind of rots from the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I notice that in my own playing, if I either get top heavy on just rep, if I get sort of top heavy with just like orchestral playing, that's all like, and I love his music, but like John Adams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I sort of like from the inside out, I start, I'm starting to not feel really good.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Cool. So wow, that was great. That was great. So we've been following you on Facebook and Instagram of you doing your 100 days practice challenge. Can you tell us what that's been like for you and like what you've seen each and every day doing that?
Yeah. It's, wow, I had no idea what to expect. And I honestly didn't have this big prep. I was in China in Guangzhou, 85 85 days ago, 86 days ago, whatever it was. And no, 87. I don't remember, something like that.
Almost
And
to 100.
almost getting there. And so I played this little thing in a practice room, and I was like, what the heck? I'm gonna post. I'll just post a little clip. And then I knew Hilary Hahn had done this, and I thought, what the hell?
Yeah.
Sure, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna commit right now. I'm just gonna commit. And I started doing it, and it was, it was fun. At first it was a lot of fun. It was challenging. Like, what am I going to talk about? And there was accountability, and it's really taken on this whole different thing for me now. Like, I really started to question, like, what am I doing in my practice session? You know, it's really made me reevaluate, like, ego, actual stuff in my practice session. I just started noticing that, like, it was harder and harder for me to stay transparent. Right. So many people are putting stuff on the internet. So many people are, like, showing you the best, you know? And I was like, well, that's not what I really wanted to do. I kind of wanted to show everything, you know, and I still don't show everything. I mean, there's stuff I was doing just before this call that sounds horrendous. Because I was thinking of you, Errol, because I was trying to get double pedals to work.
Yeah.
And it's horrible. It's so bad.
That was me today trying to play high notes.
Okay, yeah, we're on the opposite end there. So, you know, it's been really, really great, because I start noticing with no filter what is going on. Yeah. What am I really made of? And I'll be honest, some of it's like, oh, this feels good. You know, I'll do a video in McDonald, you know, at USC. It's a nice room, feels great. And you're like, oh, this feels good. And then I come home in my little room here, it's like 10 by 10, it's soundproof next to my kids. And this is what it is. It doesn't sound pretty. It's like, it's raw. Here it is, you know? And so it's been, you know, I think our journey as musicians, or anything, you want to be a, you know, an airline pilot or a doctor or a nurse or whatever, anything, I think I can't remember who said this, but our ability to succeed is directly tied to our ability to accept criticism, self-criticism of others. And so it's been really cool. I remember watching Hilary Hahn, one of her episodes, this is a couple years ago, and it's actually what I did yesterday. I just sat down and I was like, I just can't do this right now. Right. I'm just so freaking tired. I'm on with my kids during this COVID-19 thing all day long. And it was like 11:30 at night. I was like, I can't do it. I need a break. Yeah. And it's funny, it's funny that I don't really know what to expect from what I post. And I can't predict what response is. When I do the most vulnerable things that are uncomfortable for me, I usually get the biggest response. And I'm not doing it for response. I'm just saying what resonates with people. Yeah. You know, and what seems to resonate with people is authenticity, honesty. Like, I needed a break.
It's comforting to people to see that, you know, the musicians with the big jobs that everyone wants, like, that they are also human, and they also, you know, go through the whole process of making mistakes and everything. And, you know, even when you have your job, you probably, you know, everyone probably still struggles with that every day, like the things that you're trying to improve on and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's funny, like, in a way, it's like, it's a dual life because during the day in my normal job, I'm trying to not let you know there's any mistakes. Everything's beautiful. Everything's perfect. You know, of course it's not, but that's you know, in your job is to inspire people, of course, but you know, you don't want to miss notes and stuff. You're taking chances, calculated chances, right? And then, you know, at night we all go behind closed doors and it's like bang, bang, bang. You know, we're trying to, like, fix things and make it work. At least that's how I kind of think about it. But it's a journey, and I'm glad I did it. At the end of 100, I might take a break.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I didn't 87 days ago, I had no idea we were going to be in this situation. And what I really want to do, what I really, really want to do is, since I can't imagine I'm not going to ever have this chance again, you know, where I'm going to have many, many, many weeks where I'm not beholden. I want to dig into some new endeavors. Like, I'm 99% sure that if I could figure out how to fluidly go down to double pedals, that it's going to do some really awesome things with my upper register.
Yeah.
I know I'm talking a lot, but I'll say this real quick. About 4 years ago, I tried this. It was June. I did a festival in Sweden, and I was introduced to this book, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. And I just went full tilt into it. I'm like, oh, it's June. I'll go back to the bowl in a couple of weeks and blah, blah, blah. So I spent 2 weeks doing like double pedals. And the first thing I had to play back at the bowl was Summon the Heroes. Didn't feel so good. And so I was like, oh man, I gotta be careful, you know, how big a shifts I'm trying to explore in my own playing. But now I'm curious to see if I can go really deep and come back out the other side. Like, that was a massive major shift. And you know, to me, it might feel massive. Maybe to other people, they're like, oh, it sounds like you. But, you know, only I know what holes are in my playing, and I'm trying to mitigate those as big as I can, as much as I can.
I think it's good that you're still forward thinking, and you're kind of always making an effort to learn. I think that's really great, and our viewers are going to get a lot out of this video and hearing kind of your 2 cents on how to practice, how you practiced, you know, back in college versus today. And so thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, it's great to see you guys, and I hope you're safe and healthy, and keep happy practicing, all that kind of stuff. You know, the other thing is, like, parting note just for everybody that's listening, in this weird time, don't forget to just treat yourself well in terms of like your music making, you know, like, find the joy in it, do things that are fun, make it a mix, you know, and that's also been a learning curve for me as well.